my beautiful, beautiful people out there, my fellow starseed sisters and brothers. So I was just telling Ty that I had a lot of words I could tell like flowing in my head that I knew I needed to communicate. And he was just asking me what it was. And there's just been like a string of blessings. And right before we would notice or receive the blessings, we kept seeing 777, right? Actually, first of all, let me rewind. I just want to say I hope everybody's being safe and enjoying themselves and communing, because today is a beautiful day. I know that a lot of people do it and maybe don't know the reason or the history behind it. And I knew the history behind it and I've already forgotten it. And hey guys, so I apologize. I know that my computer might lag. Last time I used it, it lagged a bit, but I'm really praying that the last bit of my video is really being processed. I was recording from my phone and then directly through YouTube, and it's kind of taking a while to process, so fingers crossed. So as I was saying a minute ago in the previous clip, right after cleaning the gym, we were in the parking lot trying to figure out where we were going to go. And cops got called on us, which this is not unusual. This has happened to us now, oh my god, I don't even know how many times, maybe 10 times now or so, I don't know. And I want that to be a completely different video anyways, so I won't go into it too much, but we have actually had very pleasant experiences with most of the police officers. They're very kind and understanding when we tell them we're living in our van, and they're very helpful and show empathy or just concern. We've only had 2 instances where the police officers that show up, they're really arrogant and rude and not empathetic or anything. They're pretty like dickheads to us. So, and honestly, that's been my experience in the past. So for the majority of our experiences to be of kind officers, that's really nice change. But as I was saying, that's not the focus of this. Point is, we were in the parking lot, cops got called, and it was because a different business owner saw our white van parked on the side by a different business, or whatever. They called the cops on us. So we end up moving our van, and me and Ty get into this argument, and we're both like stressed out. And I go back to one of our spots that we've gotten used to going, and we feel very safe there. It's a parking lot in this church, a parking lot of a church. The First Church of Nazarenes, that's a shout out to them as well. I've looked them up, I've looked up their religious organization, and really surprised to see that they are all about service and devotion, so that's really cool. You know, that definitely resonates. So, and some of the church people have actually come up to us to ask us who we are or why we're in the parking lot, or if they could help us. So they know that we are living in our van, and they respect us and let us camp there in their parking lot, and they just go about their business and let us just chill in our van or in this area around our van and let us be in peace. So anyways, we went back there, but on the way there I was so frustrated, and I began praying and also calling out to Ty's higher self, because you know, at the time I could tell me and him both were not centered in ourselves and anchoring in our higher self. So I was just calling on him and asking for both of us to really come and anchor ourselves in, and then I believe I called on Archangel Uriel, because he made himself known, which is funny because I've actually never heard of this archangel, and I've worked with the angels. I'm certified in angel therapy. I'm a master practitioner in angel therapy, and no, I don't really speak about it. Studied with Charles Virtues, so I'm certified in card reading, angel therapy, mediumship, just kind of the whole smorgasbord that he teaches, along with his indigo studies. But I'd never heard of him speak about Archangel Uriel. At least I don't remember him doing that. And when I looked him up the other day, I found out that he helps out with certain things like difficulties in relationships and different things. I was like, wow, okay. So I called on him, and then we have been getting signs, or definitely I've been noticing signs of white owl, and the great white owl is very significant to me and very meaningful. Very, very meaningful. It's been popping up to me since 2015, and it began popping up then, and then also white owl began coming to me right before I would fall asleep and would take me to the Akashic records. And it was actually the owl that took me to the Akashic records and showed me, like took me in and showed me like this beautiful, beautiful, like it was just glowing gold, which I assume was, you know, the file, like a record. And this is when I met Ty, and I was asking about him, and Owl took me to the Akashic records to show me me and Ty's record together, records, whatever. And so White Owl has been coming up a lot again, and then right before we pulled into the church, I saw an owl, like a statue of an owl. And right across the street from that are these 3 crosses that the church put up with a purple sash ribbon around the center one. And I don't know, you know how you pick up on little weird details and whatever, I at least notice it. Well, Ty comes to the front of the van, and we kind of reconcile. And I notice that he's wearing the purple, the same exact purple. His shorts are that exact purple as the sash that was on the cross. And at the same time, I noticed that he said, hey, you know how I was reading the article from the Twin Flame website you showed me, asked me to read the other day? I said, yeah. He says, so when she mentioned that the astrological alignment in the sky was actually forming a grand cross, in my mind, I thought of these 3 crosses in their front lawn, and that the whole universe, and then he goes on to like this long story about the universe and how everything's slowly forming into a cross or something. I don't know, I would really love for him to explain it. Like, it kind of blew my mind. I was kind of like, what? But just that connection, that it's like a zap of lightning, you know, when I make the connection of the color to his shorts, and at the same time the owl, and then he comes to the front and starts speaking about the crosses and the astrological events. I don't know, we just link up like that. Anyways, so after that, you know, he's just expressing how he's just kind of unhappy about our situation a bit, and this and that. And you know, I just tell him to just relax if he can, take his medication that helps him with his anxiety, and you know, and then he smokes on some herb, and he's just starting to relax. And I forgot what I said. Oh, I told him, I said, it's very interesting that you are speaking about all this and even coming to talk to me, because I called on you, your higher self, and my higher self. And I also called on Archangel Uriel, and I was like, Ty, you know, I don't know why I keep forgetting about this, but the angels really, really, really used to help me in the beginning of my journey. And they really, really, really helped me. And Archangel Metatron helped me so much. I would lay down and ask for him to come to me and ask him to help me gather my energy to go forth and find my fragmented life force in different spaces and time and experiences I've had with especially guys, and how my power was given away. Either I did it consciously or unconsciously, or, you know, because of abuse and stuff. So Archangel Metatron really took me on journeys, and I would collect my energy. I would collect my fragmented parts. And I was telling him about that, and how, you know, I was telling him I would love for him to like surrender and be open to Archangel Metatron helping him gather his fragmented energy. And he asked me how I even got involved, and I know I've mentioned it to him before, a few times. But maybe this time he really, really wanted to listen deeply, and he did. So I told him the story about how I ended up in Italy, and that happened so long ago. That was 2013. So I don't know who of you have been there since then, but those of you who do, I know Belen knows, Svetlana knows, Kitty, who else has been with me since then? There's some people that I don't talk to anymore, but they were around at the time, so some of you know how I ended up over there in Italy, and how this travel project that I was on and heading is what I thought was going to happen in Italy, and I was going to make my big break in travel writing and everything. I mean, I'm laughing now. It doesn't mean I'm not going to do that. It just means that at the time I really thought that's what it was going to be. And it turned into the universe just wanted me over there so that I was there when Charles Virtue was there and all these other ladies were there. And I ended up on this Master Angel Practitioner retreat in Italy. It was Charles Virtue's first time in Italy, first time doing a master intensive course. And the souls that I met, the women there that I met, most of us recognized one another. We knew that we knew one another before. Sorry, I'm like a bit itchy. And we knew that there was like a soul connection. We were kindred spirits, but more and more, and especially now that I have confirmation of past lives, I know a lot of those women were my friends in especially one life where I was a healer, and I had a very close group of women who were healers as well, strong women, and I was accused of being a witch and the witchcraft thing, and most likely they were too, and I was murdered, burned, and so most likely they were too. So anyways, so I was telling Ty about this, and he was just like, how did you end up there? And I was like, Ty, this is what I've been trying to tell you. I was like, baby, if you just surrender, so listen up, guys. If no matter what situation you are in, as crazy as it looks or seems or unbearable, if you could just stop for a minute, if you can get yourself to breathe and then just say, even if you don't even think you believe it yet, okay? Try to say, I surrender. I surrender. Fuck, I surrender. I surrender. I don't know what's going on, but I surrender. Whatever this is, wherever you're leading me, help me trust you, or I trust you. I trust that you'll lead me where I'm meant to be, where I'm meant to go. Let me let go of control and release what is not for my highest good, and open up to receive everything that is the best for me and what's meant for me. I trust that you are taking care of me. Exactly what I had said earlier during yoga, If you can just say something like that. I told him if we can just continue to surrender in this journey. Yeah, it's different, very different from him. For me, it's not so different because I've been traveling so much and I'm used to kind of bouncing around and being innovative and being this gypsy, right? And not many of you know this, but he is 10 years younger than me, and also just not traveled the way I've traveled. So at times he's freaked out a little bit about the situation. But I was like, if you can just try to keep surrendering, Ty, and trust, and look at this and see it as an adventure, because it is. And I was like, everything's going to open up, Ty. Something amazing is going to happen. I'm telling you, Ty, something amazing is going to fucking happen. And I was like, look, already this amazing guy, Philip, like, opened up his gym. He opened up his place of business to us. He trusts us, and he's allowing us to come into his place, unsupervised, and trust that we are going to hold our bargain, that we're going to clean his space. So, just like that, the universe is bringing us to someone so beautiful like this. The universe is going to continue to bring us to people, authentic people, caring people, people that vibe with us. So just let the universe lead. Let's just see what's about to happen. Something fucking amazing is going to happen. So we had this whole conversation, and then we decided that we would like to do some laundry, and that's why we're here, and I'm trying to tell you about where I am. So this is part of the blessings in the 777, okay? Wow. What you give out to the universe truly comes back to you in some form. So right now we are in a house in Louisville that is called a Black Lives Matter house. It is a safe house and a safe place. And I found out about it through a woman that I connected with in 2012 or 2013, maybe 2014, around that time when I had already surrendered to my journey and was going where, the universe or creator guides were telling me to go, just following spirit, following my path. And I connected with her through my brother and Chanel, so shout out to you. And this is back when I was still a bit involved with social activism. And not many of you know that, because all I've talked about mostly is healing, right? Your spiritual evolution, healing, and stuff like that. But actually, before my complete surrender to my path, I was a bit of an activist and really into like fighting for the people, and I was a journalist and writing about issues and writing about cultures and trying to trying to bridge the gap between cultures and misunderstood cultures. I was definitely well known on my campus for that, and well known for mingling with people, diverse, multicultural, mingling. And I had friends I was friends with people from all different places of the world. I'm trying to say that, sorry. Getting a little tongue-tied. Hold on, I gotta pop something in the oven. So I'll be right back. Yeah, so anyways, I used to be really involved in, people's rights, the welfare and rights of minority groups, stuff like that. So when I surrendered to my journey and I was back in southern Indiana, I got hooked up with Chanel. And man, this lady, Chanel, was like, at least at the time, was really involved in a lot of stuff and knew a lot of people around the city and all these different organizations and coalitions and stuff. And I met up with her a few times. We really vibed, and I was helping her with her nonprofit. She had just started, Women in Transition, yada, 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 okay? So, but then I went off to Philly, which I don't know if many of you know that, which I'll put a link up here for, I'll put up like the Philly protest video that I recorded while I was there. I got involved with the peaceful protest in Philly, yada yada. And Philly wasn't my cup of tea, really not my cup of tea. It's, oof. So I came back, but I stopped being involved so much with social activism, because Philly showed me that while I want to fight for the people, like I really wanted to be there on the streets. Oh yeah, I was working with Sherry Honkala. I remember I shared that on Instagram a lot. Amazing woman, Sherry Honkala, okay? While I really wanted to be this activist, I really realized that from my perspective, that wasn't the place where I was supposed to be fighting, and that's not where the problems start. The problems start, they're here within. And I noticed that if each person could realize that if they could go within and learn how to master themselves, if they could learn the tools to heal themselves, to heal from the past and past trauma, right? Trauma in their life, trauma from their lineage, generational trauma, ancestral trauma, trauma from society, all this trauma, right? Then we'll begin to see a difference. And I was like, while I really want to be a warrior on the streets, I can't deny that I am a spiritual warrior. Especially while I was in Philly, I could feel the demonic energy there so strong. I'm not kidding you. It was really hard for me to stay centered and stay in the vibration I was in. I know that, I'm sure you guys have noticed that my vibe is a bit different. I'm not as soft-spoken as I was, and that's because I was very, very, very much anchored into my heart, my higher heart, and my divine feminine energy, okay? And now I've been incorporating my masculine energy for quite some time, especially since I met Ty, so you can see my fire again, and I'm a bit more aggressive, loud, and have sass, which is funny because these are also aspects of mine that I used to have, and I kind of they don't go away, but while I was being reconnected with my divine feminine energy, the masculinity kind of took a back seat so that I could really, really connect with my femininity again. So anyways, that whole Philly experience made me realize that I wanted to dive so deep into myself and heal from the relationship that I had there. And so that was 2015, and it was so fucking beautiful. It was so fucking beautiful. My divine feminine self emerged. I went through a very deep goddess initiation that I realize now was an initiation. The divine goddess, that my divine feminine codes were unlocking, and I was like really feminine. If you see videos from 2015 that I made, I was very, very feminine. And so in 2015, I was able to meet a group who drinks the tea in Florida, and so I decided I was going to move down there, and I had this amazing arrangement set up where I was going to be doing energy exchange to stay at a healing retreat, learn yoga, go to yoga school, and I was going to be able to drink ayahuasca 2 times a month. So I decided I was just going to give everything away, everything I could that I didn't want to take with me. So I gave away everything. So you're talking furniture, high heel. Oh my God, all my high heels. I used to love stilettos and high heels. Clothes that I didn't wear, but I was forced to wear, right, when you're working in corporate or office jobs. So I gave away jeans, office wear, decorative stuff, knickknacks, office supplies, appliances, books, all kinds of jewelry, all kinds of shit. I just kept on to my crystals, anything related to my spiritual life, clothes that I loved to wear, that I felt feminine, really connected to my feminine nature, and comfortable shoes, which meant like a pair of flip-flops and some sneakers or something. like my blankets and pillows, my paintings, my art supplies. Yes, my art supplies. Okay, so it wasn't much. Like, it filled up an economy sized car. So I gave away everything in 2015. But I want to make a note that in 2012, I also had done the same thing. I just gave everything away. I can't remember where I had taken it to in 2012, but I do remember in 2015, I came over to Louisville and just like to this homeless shelter, and I said, hey, I have a bunch of donations. Can I drop it here? And I pointed to where I could put it, and I mean, I just started piling stuff there, right? Okay. So this shit is crazy. This is what I'm telling you. Things come back around. So I'm giving you this bit of information. Hold on to it. Now let's fast forward to now, 2019. April 20th, 2019. Okay? I'm inside the Black Lives Matter house that I found out about because of Chanel, that I met back in 2012, 13, or 14 when I was in social activism. I am here now in this house because I just now remembered about her and remembered to ask her if she knows of anybody or any resource where me and Ty can just park and have some peace and quiet, maybe shower or do laundry. And she told me, yeah, there's a location I have. So she told me this last week. We came last week and we're like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, and we saw 777 before we showed up. And we're like, holy shit, when we walk in. We were like, wow, what a blessing. We were able to do our laundry, take showers, be in peace. You know, it was like, it's chill. So today, when we were in Louisville at the parking lot and had our whole discussion about the angels, whole discussion about White Owl, right? And surrendering to the universe and letting it unfold so all these miracles can unfold, because we're going to be pushed onto our path, what we're supposed to be doing. We go, you know what? Let's go ahead and go back to the Black Lives Matter house, and we can do some more laundry. We'll be closer to the Indiana border because I have a mystery shopper thing I have to do tomorrow to make some cash in Indiana. So I was like, it'll be perfect. Like, we can go there, finish up the rest of our laundry, take some showers, relax. And he was so hungry. And there's this joint down here that is like amazing. You get like 50 wings for $26 or something like that. Isn't that crazy? And he loves wings, so like we're like, yeah, let's do it. That'll be like food for a little bit. That's like 4 meals right there. And right before, so I started driving, and I see 777, the taxi with the 777 number across it. And I'm like, Ty, 7777 again, the sevens. I said, Ty, something amazing is going to happen. This is great. And this is the second time when we're on our way to this house. So we show up, he goes to take a shower, starting to do laundry and everything. And I run into one of the girls that lives here, Natalie. And I just say hi to her, and we get to talking. And one of my pillows ripped in the washer. So I asked her if she knew where a needle and some string, some thread was. And she told me to go look in a room, this one spare room. So I'm like, okay. And I walk in there, and I'm like, oh my God, there's just so much stuff. I mean, there's actually a lot of stuff in this house, and it's amazing because it's donated. It's a bunch of donations. So I'm still waiting on when I can actually meet up with Chanel again, so we can discuss some stuff, because I'm so impressed and proud of her and whoever else worked with her on this to get a home that is a safe haven for people who are either homeless, in a really bad situation, whatever the case may be. Okay, there's shelter, there's food, showers, you can wash your clothes. Okay, everything is provided here. It's a safe home. Okay, and so like I said, there's just a bunch of different things that are donated all around the house. So I go into this room and I'm just kind of overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my God, there's just like all this stuff in this house that's donated. And I started looking around, and I just have like this Twilight Zone feeling. I get that feeling sometimes when something really cool is about to happen, but sometimes I don't realize I'm feeling the Twilight Zone feeling. I kind of felt it. I kind of knew, and I was like, ooh, this feels kind of trippy. Well, I walk over to the phone. Well, first of all, when I walk in the room, I notice like this red and gold hanging shrine. That was the first thing I noticed when I walked in, first of all. And I said to myself, wow, I had that exact thing when I lived in, and I'm talking to myself, right? I said, wow, I had that exact thing when I lived in Indianapolis in my apartment. I had that. Oh, that's so cool that somebody else had that, right? So I blow it off. And I go around looking around the room. I'm overwhelmed and looking at all this stuff. And I get closer to that shrine, the gold red, like, wall mount shrine thing. And I look down at a box. And I go, no fucking way. And it was this. And you're probably thinking, okay, no, dude. When I saw this, I just knew. The fact that the shrine that I used to have, and then this, I realized this is one of the wallets I donated in 2015. And so once I realized that this was one of the things I donated, I realized the fucking shrine on the fireplace was my shrine that I donated. Okay? And I know exactly that it is mine because I always had this like little tear right here, okay? And like, so you can put a bunch of different cards in here, okay? And I had like high school, yeah, I had, no, my IUPUI IDs, I believe. Maybe my high school IDs, whatever. I had these IDs, I remember them, that had red ink on them. And it got so hot and wet one time that it bled onto the plastic. So I was like, holy shit, this definitely was mine. Like, there is no denying it, and there's no denying that shrine was mine. So I'm like flipping the fuck out. I'm like, whoa, I'm tripping, man, mind blown. And I go tell Natalie, I go tell Ty, and I'm like, dude, this is crazy to years later to walk into a completely different place and find things that I donated. And so Natalie was like, well, maybe that's the universe speaking to you. Maybe it's a sign. I said, yeah, I actually had to sit and think about it. And I feel like the universe is saying that I gave so much away, that I have given out so much goodness, right? I have donated, I have helped others, I have given of myself so much. And now I'm in a time where I am the one that needs to receive. I'm open to receive. And it's like the universe is saying, this is one of the places where you will be blessed and can be blessed. This is a place of blessing for you. You come here. No one harasses you. No one makes you feel like you're a burden. No one makes you feel, it's like the societal thing, right? Like, why are you not living in a home? Why did you get evicted? Are you on drugs? You know what I mean? Just all this like shaming and fucking guilt tripping and making people feel like they're a burden when you haven't even bothered to ask them why they're in the situation they're in, right? I'm noticing that now. I'm coming across a lot of people who are, living in their van, their car, or who are homeless or whatever, and like they have stories to tell. You can't stereotype them. You need to get to know them. And so even my own family has been doing that shit to me. You know what I mean? It's like, what the hell? But here you don't get that. Nobody's gonna judge you, and you can come in and I'm able to wash my laundry, sit down and relax, take a nice shower, have a nice conversation with someone, eat some food if there's some food here. Food does get donated here, but we actually had food before we came. I can make some tea. And I mean, oh, where's the camera? And this cute mug. I mean, hello, it's like it's made for me. So it's like, holy shit. And also there's so much stuff that is donated here, and we actually have been needing a cooler. So I found a cooler. This is awesome, right? I found a lantern because our camping lantern has been going bananas and not working. So I found an even better lantern. You know, I really wanted to like the Ozark brand. I'm kind of iffy on it. You can find it at Walmart. But Coleman, that seems to be a much more reliable brand. So I found a Coleman lantern, and it works. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like, it's just like what we needed to, like, really, you know, it's not much, but for us, it's a lot because, you know, at nighttime, it's nice to have some lanterns in the van. You know, the van's not built out or anything yet. And cooler, yeah, we would like to have some groceries and you know, stop eating out so much. And so I was like, this is really fucking cool. And I go back into the room so I can still try to find a needle. I was still trying to find a needle and thread for my pillow. And I go back to the same area because the shrine and this wallet are in the same area in the room. And I look down, and again, I see another thing that used to be mine. I mean, this shit is crazy. This is so fucking cool. And I just laugh. I mean, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to leave it here. But it's just amazing that pieces of me ended up in a place. How many years later? 4 years later. Okay, so right where my belongings that I donated were was this awesome fucking magnet. And it's cool because I think you'll be able to read it. Can you read it? First of all, can you see the awesome cat with a gun riding a fucking unicorn? Okay, first of all, unicorn also comes to me. It's a big messenger. And you're very blessed if unicorn comes to you. But not only that, it says strong people stand up for themselves, but stronger people stand up for others. And this fucking awesome ass unicorn is riding in front of a fucking rainbow with his fucking Rambo cat with a fucking gold gun and a red bandana on his forehead. I mean, this is awesome as hell. And I don't know if you saw my other video before this one, but I put magnets on the inside of my van. So I'm putting this in the van. Thank you to whoever donated this. Thank you so much, because this is a message for me. I fight for the people. And I always have. And it pisses me off when people are being treated unfairly. And that's why I got into activism and why I started writing about the things I was writing about in the newspaper for campus and on my blog. Or I really wanted to open up this whole thing. I actually first started a different blog called Sow the Truth, and it was on Blogspot. And then I didn't get into it. I think it's because I got hired by Cha-Cha, and I just got so like busy with Cha-Cha. Yeah, my hair does not want to part in the middle. So just leave it like that. So and then I ended up writing about spiritual evolution and healing and stuff like that. But my fight for the people has never really stopped, because even though I didn't write about it, in my daily life, I speak up for people. When I was in Florida, I spoke up for quite a few people at the retreat. It did not make me a very popular person at times. You know, some people want to act like nothing is going on. Some people are too afraid to speak up about the truth. Some people want to brush things under the carpet. Some people want to just be way too passive about things that you shouldn't be passive about. You know, if someone is causing another person harm, deliberately trying to take someone's power, someone who has not learned quite yet to stand in their own power and speak their truth, you know, stand by them, help your brother, help your sister, you know. So I have not been popular at times because I've done that. I've not been popular with exes because I stand up for myself and for other people. So it's really cool to see this confirmation and affirmation. Because even though it's really my social activism led me to Chanel. Chanel led me to this home. And while I no longer go out and fight in the streets, I'm a spiritual warrior, and I teach you guys how to heal yourselves. You know, I'm fighting for you guys in a different way, energetically. It's a quieter approach to the revolution on Earth. And it's a big task. but I'm still doing it. And I love that the universe is giving me a great big high five and blessing me in Thai. And I really had to share that really cool ass story. And I mean, now I'm curious what else is in this house that I donated. It's not that I want it, but I'm just like, oh my god, I would love to know. This is so fucking cool. I mean, it's so cool. I mean, it's so cool. It's so cool. My mind is blown right now. You know, this all happened on 420, and it's the day before Easter, which really on Easter I celebrated as the day of Ishtar, which some people say is not accurate or whatever, but for me, Easter, it still is a celebration of death and rebirth, and of the divine feminine, rising back up. And it's so interesting that me and Ty had a conversation about fragmented energy, fragmented parts being called back and reintegrated. So that's also a form of resurrection, of rebirth. And in my previous video, I said that I've been going through these transformations and these processes where it's like I'm becoming more and more of me, more and more of who I really am, even more shedding of layers. When you think that you didn't have more layers, girlfriend, brother, let me tell you, there's more. And surrender to that process. Just keep stripping away to that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful light that is there, always there, that is you. And so yeah, happy 420, happy Easter, happy Ishtar, happy whatever, happy day. Oh, yeah, and you want to know how crazy? Okay, so I told you about the whole white owl thing. I didn't even tell you that last week, before we came to the house for the first time, I saw I saw the name Uriel on a truck, and then a freaking huge great white owl flew over our van as I was driving, and I was like, oh my god. And then I just kept seeing owls and white owl. So then today Ty went and got some wraps for his herb, and of course white owl. And it's not the first time he's gotten it right, but it's just so crazy that he didn't know I was going to bring up owl, and he had went and gotten this. So then when I told him about the owl statue across from the church, across from the crosses, he went, oh, I also bought white owls. And then when we got to the Black Lives Matter house, and the chick that lives here, she asked if Ty could run her a favor, run up to the store and grab her something. When he came back, he said, hey, Trina, guess what the store was called? And I was like, oh, God, here we go. I was like, what was it called? He said, White Owl Liquors or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God. And look, beeping. The universe is amazing, guys. And you know what? Have those deep lows. Go to the lows, because the lows show you things in shadows and what is being healed, what needs to be healed. And I bet you that beeping is annoying the fuck out of you. It's starting to annoy me too. So give me a second. Allow yourself to go to the deep lows, because that is where, in the shadows, that's where there needs to be more light. And the light is you. Take your consciousness there. Take your awareness there. Don't run from it and say, oh, this is miserable. This is uncomfortable. Oh my God, let me just try to distract myself. No, say, okay, what is this? What is hurting me? What is this connected to? Ask yourself these deep questions. Dive deep and stay in these shadows. Like, really immerse yourself. Do that inner work, because there's going to be a high. You're not going to be low forever. You know what I mean? If you continue to surrender and dedicate to your inner work, it is going to open up and provide you with wonders. it's going to create more space. I don't know why it was so hard for me to say that. You gotta clean out and create space for the new beginnings. I'm telling you, this is fucking exciting. And I know I've been talking about how terrible sometimes my days are. I mean, if you saw my Facebook page, my post on my birthday, I was like, fuck my birthday, and I don't give a fuck about any of your birthday wishes. Some days I was just pissed. It's okay. So I just want to tell you 777, 777 all the way. And blessings come back around. Pay it forward. Give from your heart. Give out into the universe. And trust, I'm telling you, it will come back to you in some shape or form. You will receive your karma. You will be blessed. So happy 420. Happy Easter. Happy Ishtar. Happy day. Happy whatever. Namaste. Mitakwe. Oyasin. Aloha nui.